Hello everybody, welcome back to War Thunder. Today's episode is brought to you by myself, because I felt like doing an absolute ridiculous plane today. And that ridiculous plane is the TB-3, which is a little bit strange for the channel because I never do videos of bombers. But the thing is, this ain't no everyday bomber. It's a special bomber that resides in the hearts of many people, and the reason why is, well, I mean, look at that face. It's permanently happy. They say a smile can be contagious, and well, that is a contagious smile right there. Look at that thing. It's so happy. Alright, so it's happy that we're going to be going out with it today. TB-3, lot of things to talk about with this plane, and I'll be teaching you guys how you can possibly do well in some battles when using this thing. Alright, so first things first, this is a rare plane. It's one that you can't unlock normally unless there's special events going on. You can't even purchase it. If you go into your tech tree, if you look on the right hand side where I have mine, yours won't actually be there. It will just be completely invisible until you can unlock it through a special event. That's the only time you can get it. Now, its wingspan is absolutely massive. The whole entire plane is massive. It's one of the biggest planes in the entire game. For example, if you look at the wingspan, it's so big that it almost reaches the Christmas tree over here, which still hasn't been removed, even though it's almost February. Also, the wings are so big that you can plaster on pretty girls on top of it because, well, it's just like a billboard, isn't it? It comes out at rank 1 with a battle rating of 2.0, which is right in the middle of battle ratings that you can get at tier 1. Maximum speed is 190 kilometers per hour, -7. I have -7 over here because of my bomb armament, and I'll talk about more about that in a moment. But 190 kilometers per hour is literally nothing. This thing is near enough like a glider. It's so slow. Everything can catch up to it. And by the time you get to the enemy ground units, chances are either you'll be shot down by the enemy, or half the game is going to be over. It's just that slow. Turn time 55.8 seconds. It takes a long ass time to turn this thing around. Rate of climb 8.4. It doesn't climb. It's near nigh non-existent. The only time you're going to climb in it is if you already have speed, and the only time you might have a little bit of speed is in a dive. Thing is, its maximum altitude is 3,800, but when you spawn in, that's probably going to be the maximum altitude that you're going to have the entire match. Because, like I said, it just doesn't climb at all. If anything, if you dive, chances are you're going to be low-lying the entire game. Turrets, turret-wise, it has 5 turrets. 1 forward-facing at the front over here. 1 forward-facing at the back. 1 rear-facing at the back as well. And 2 dustbins that are facing to the back. Likewise, 1 on each underwing over here. Now, if you had to be a guy that went inside that dustbin, then that would just be absolute shit. You'd be crazy to actually volunteer to be in that position. Because, I mean, look at this thing. It looks like the only thing that's really stopping you from falling is the fact that the machine gun is connected to a bar, and that probably goes in between your groin. So if you could imagine like a swing almost. Man, you gotta be crazy. So modifications wise, there's a number of bomb armaments like 24 by 100, 12 by 250, 4 by 500, and 4 by 250. The one that I would pick is the biggest one, and that's the one that I have had most success with. And the reason why I would go with this one is because this plane is so slow, so unmaneuverable, that it's kind of hard to aim or adjust your aim on ground units. So by going with the biggest bomb set, it gives you a bit of leniency for missing. For example, sometimes I can actually drop like my 500 kilo bombs in between 2 ground units and I'll actually destroy both of them, which is absolutely awesome. Turret wise, for the gun ammo, I've used armored targets because it has the least amount of tracers. I mean, all the other belts are pretty much like the same, but more tracers. Armored targets has less tracers and thus more damage output. Now there's a few other things I have to mention. When using this plane, it's best to lower your BR as much as possible. It has a BR of 2.0, and a lot of other planes that come out at 2.0 have cannons on them. Like if you look at the lags here, for example, they have cannons. Where's the yak? That is a cannon. And cannons against this plane aren't fun. If you lower your battle rating as much as possible by having reserves in there as well, then you should get like an overall battle rating of like 1.7 or around that range. And you can actually, at that stage, take on biplanes and reserve planes in their own matches. Like, I've had matches where I've had nothing but reserves against me, and that is so fun because they have such a hard time shooting down this plane. It's almost like trying to take down a mothership. It's awesome. And that's where you most excel. If you get into a match against planes with cannons, well, you're kind of screwed then. Now, another thing that I should mention, whenever you're using a bomber, make sure you go to game options here. Go to autopilot for gunner and bomb sights and switch it to no, because it might be on something else. Switch it to no, and what that does is, well, whenever you normally switch over to your gun sights or bombing sights, the plane levels itself out by itself, and that can be a little bit annoying sometimes, and that can actually screw up your angles of what you want to do. So if you set it to no, then it won't adjust at all, and then you can manually control it yourself whilst still shooting at the enemy without it trying to autopilot and control the plane by itself. It's much better that way. Okay guys, that's pretty much a TB-3 armor wise, and internally there's pretty much nothing to talk about. It's just absolutely gigantic. I am excited to go on some battles. Let's go. Alright, so here I am on a match on Stalingrad. Okay, looks fine. Alright, so here we go. One thing I should have mentioned was that whenever I go out with this plane, I make sure that I have a bomb activation time of 3 seconds. There's a number of different ones that you can choose. By the way, the matchmaker I don't think is brilliant. Oh, fuck. There's a number of HE-51s, which is okay. But there's like a Yak 1. Hurricane's not so bad because they have low caliber machine guns. So I have bomb activation for 3 seconds, and the reason why for that is because sometimes, well, because your turrets are open topped, these guys can die relatively easy. And so I like to protect myself a little bit more by having bombs, especially if I'm low lying. Then with that activation time, drop the bombs, and if I'm lucky, then a plane behind me might actually die because the bombs explode in 3 seconds time, and boom. If you go anything less than 3 seconds, then you'll do critical damage to yourself because these bombs are so big, and that's not something you want to do. You don't want to critical damage yourself. Kind of self-explanatory. Alright, Hurricane down there. Ideally what you want to do is stick with your teammates, or if you had squad mates, even better, because they would get a lot of free kills. You're just the kind of like cannon fodder, the meat shield. You're the attention grabber. But that's what it is. I'm going to start bombing these targets. I'm going to try to lead them on a little bit because, mind you, I have to drop my bombs, and there's also a 3-second reload or activation time, so there's that one. Now when you're turning, you can turn onto your side if you want to, but a lot of times to make shots even more accurate, I'd really recommend using your rudder to turn around. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to rather continue on in that direction. I'm going to go down back to my lines and hope that nobody's tailing after me. Good. Got a number of ground units destroyed. Nice. Especially that second volley there. That was pretty good. What am I shooting at? One of my gunners going crazy over. They're shooting that Kai-27 down there. They're like, there's an enemy over 1 kilometer away. Kill him. He's too close. Okay. Alright, my bombs are reloaded, and I can go back in. Yes, I can go back in. Now there's a number of things that I should be afraid of when I'm taking on the enemy. First thing is any planes that have a 20mm cannon on them, because that would obviously tear me apart. Any planes with rockets, because obviously that would tear me apart. And rammers, because some people, when they're taking on this thing, especially planes with machine guns on them, they can't do a lot of damage to it. I mean, they can do damage, but it takes so long to shoot it down, they get desperate, and they just fucking outright ram the thing. Which has happened to me before. It's not a surprise. Kind of makes me think that ramming should get actually penalized in this game, but that is a whole different discussion. Alright, so there's that. And I'm gonna actually go for these AAs over here. Because, well, because they're not as close to the enemy front line. Put it like that, alright? There's some. Get some. Uh-oh. I'm on fire. I'm not on fire, I'm just smoking or something. Who's behind me? You behind me? What's up, dude? You're on fire. You on fire. I'm on fire. That's not good. Well, at least you're dead. At least you're dead. Now I'm gonna pull up and hope that you can't do some bullshit to me! Do some bullshit! No! No! This is why I fucking hate rammers, dude. He's dead! He is dead! He is fucking dead! Oh my god. And I was doing so well. Look at that right there. That was 7 ground units destroyed and 1 aircraft destroyed. Okay, ground strike on Stalingrad. Let's see what the match is turning out. It looks pretty alright so far. Ooh, a hurricane. Not too happy about that, but it's not too bad. Everything's like HE 51 Nimrod, little pea shooter, bastards. Yeah, that's fine. Looks good to me. Okay, TB-3, let's go. So I guess the biggest problem is ramming. It really sucks, man. There's no repercussions for ramming, which if you think about it, I mean, there would be, because you're wasting a really good plane. I mean, okay, the thing is, if it's a dead plane, then whatever, ram it. But if it's a healthy plane, or if it's slightly damaged, you're wasting Air Force resources by just ramming it, if you think about it. So I think there should be a penalty, maybe like a crew lock, adding a crew lock addition or something, like time, or preventing you from using a crew slot. Because I don't know, dude. Although I think ramming should be a part of the game, I don't think it should be something that shouldn't go unpunished, if you get me. That is my drift. Okay, so yeah, it looks pretty damn decent to me. Nothing with rockets, mostly just biplanes, easy stuff. And I'm gonna go in balls deep. But I'm all by myself up here. There's a hurricane right there, which isn't nice. I don't want to deal with a hurricane, so I'm going to start pulling off to the right, and I'm going to make my bombing run to the left. Check out that hurricane. He's not going for me. That's good. That's actually very good. Okay. Fine. It is what it is. Superior SB2M down there. Huh. Okay then. Here I go. For my bombing run, have to anticipate which direction these vehicles are moving in. And also distance. Bomb activation. I reckon maybe around there. That sounds good to me. That's probably going to be off the last ones. Now I'm going to pull off to the side. Like that. Do something sharp. I don't think any of those bombs hit, actually. Oh, they did. There we go. 3 ground unit. No more? Just 3. Alright, I can deal with it. That's fine. It is what it is. There's a hurricane behind me. Okay. I'm going to turn around. Oh. My gunners are going crazy for the SB2M. Hurricane back there. So that's another one. Somebody else brought a hurricane in. Huh. Somebody brought another hurricane to the gun show. Fuck me with a stick. That's a P-26 that's coming for me. Knowing these little bastards, he might actually try to even ram me. I don't even know. Okay. Fine. Look okay. I'll let my gunners, my AI gunners, deal with it. I'm actually quite confident that my AI gunners should be fine. Carry out the situation. Gonna drop some bombs now. Boom, boom, boom. Number of bombs right there. Gonna drop these bombs, and then I'm gonna switch over to my gunner view. Ground units destroyed. Nice. Critical hit. I imagine that's a critical hit on the pea shooter. Oh my god. Come on, gunners. It's not that hard. It's not that fucking hard. Come on, dudes. This guy's doing way too much damage. There we go. He's on fire. Took long enough. And another guy? Oh my god. Everybody wants a little piece of the TB-3. Look, he's gonna try to fucking ram this little bitch. Little bitch. Because he's on fire. He's desperate. He desperate. See? Another fucking ram. Oh my god, dude. I'm gonna go insane. Well, guys, that is enough of the TB-3 because, unfortunately, one major problem this thing can suffer with is being rammed. A single plane ramming into it will destroy it. And because there's no repercussions for the player, well, everyone can just keep on ramming this thing. So, unfortunately, that makes the TB-3 a sad TB-3. So, guys, the question of this episode is, do you have this plane? What do you think about it? And what plane or tank should I go out with in the next episode? Okay, guys, until the next video, this is Krebs, and I'll catch you guys next time.